Hello everyone, welcome to Booktasia, and today I have a review of The Amazing Wither by Lauren DeStefano. This book is part one in a 3-part trilogy called the Chemical Garden Trilogy, and I actually picked it up in my Waterstone store when I worked there. This is actually a debut novel as well, and it's by an American writer. I believe she's wrote more now. This came out around 2012, I'd like to say. I do remember when I bought it, it was brand new on the shelf, and I'm going to give you an overview of the story and my thoughts on it, and it'll be spoiler free, so don't worry, if you still want to enjoy it, you can. It's set in a dystopian future, like lots of young adult fiction nowadays, which I love. It's right up my street. It's in first person from the perspective of a girl called Rhine, and she's 16 years old. It's set in America, and as far as we know, America is the only country left in the world because of a nuclear holocaust. There's a lot of DNA engineering going on, and this first generation was the first generation born in a lab, genetically engineered, without things like cancer, HIV, even colds. And because of this, they were born, everything was great, they were strong, they live a very healthy lifespan, 70, 80, 90 years old. However, the children they produce die at the age of 20 or 25. The age of 20 for women and 25 for men, which I thought was a really interesting concept. And obviously because they keep dying, there is this like rush to basically produce more children, because they're only going to live for 20 or 25 years until they die, and then they need to produce children. So in the novel, there's only ever characters under the age of 25 or over the age of 70. Ryan, like I say, is 16 years old. She lives in Manhattan in New York, which I personally really enjoyed because I love New York. She has a twin brother called Rowan, and she has a genetic disorder where her eyes are different colours. There is a word for it in the novel, but I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. She gets snatched and taken and sold to become a child bride, basically, to a man called Lyndon, and he owns this great palatial home in Florida. And his father, who is first generation, Housemaster Vaughan, he's the one who arranged it, and yeah, she gets basically sold into sex slavery. Quite similar to The Handmaid's Tale, so if you enjoy The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, you're gonna love this. She's one of 3 brides. There's Ryan herself, who's 16, there's Jenna, who is 18, and there's Cecily, who is 13. You get to see their dynamic a lot, and obviously the relationships grow, the relationships change, and that's a really lovely progression throughout the novel. I really enjoyed that from a feminist point of view as well, and how they all bond together, and they're restricted to one corridor, one wing of this mansion. And then this young male servant arrives called Gabriel, and him and Ryan really spark up a friendship, and things progress from there. And it's all about how Lyndon is quite a frail young man. He's 21, I believe, in the novel, is juxtaposed to his father, who is this evil, like, sadistic figure. And the bonding between the 3 girls, and then this like dangerous liaison with Gabriel on the side. It's got a lot of social undercurrents, a lot of talk about humanity, about humanity being worth saving or not. The main focus of the novel isn't really this love triangle or the love for the protagonist for the men. It's more about humanity and how socially they've kind of had to evolve, had to change because of this virus, which I really enjoyed. Because it's set in this one big mansion and there's so few characters, it's quite concentrated, quite condensed down, and I like that personally. Like, one of my favourite plays ever is In Spectacles, and that takes place in one room over like an hour, so I like how it's all focused. But I suppose for some people you might find that a bit of a negative, maybe. You do get to see retrospective flashbacks to her life in Manhattan, which I personally love. One thing Lauren DeStefano is really good at is picking out little details, zooming into the details to really get you to relate to the story. Quite romantic prose, and I really liked that. And Ryan as a character is really likeable, and it was one of those novels that you just start in the action straight away. Now, I can't tell you how fast I got through this. I started it yesterday, and I stayed up till 4 AM reading, went to bed, had like 6 hours sleep, woke up, and it was the first thing I did the next morning. I finished it. I literally didn't get out of bed, which is crazy, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like it could be a standalone novel, and I really enjoy that, even though there is a trilogy, and it makes me hesitate because it's like you've been confined into this one house for this entire novel, and now there's going to be a second and a third one, and I'm quite hesitant about it because the tone's going to be so much different, but I guess I've got to reserve judgment until I actually read it. I think it's a really interesting concept, and from what I can see online it's quite similar to Only Ever Yours, which I have also downloaded on my Kindle, which I'm going to read ASAP. If you like young adult fiction, if you like fiction from a strong female's point of view, if you like dystopian fiction, you're going to love this. And I think I would give this book a 4 out of 5. If you guys have read this, let me know your thoughts below too, and I will report back once I've read the trilogy. Alright guys, so this is everything. I really hope you enjoyed my review of Wither by Lauren DeStefano. And if you've got any questions, comments or queries, please feel free to leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for watching guys, and I'll speak to you later. Bye guys. Bye, bye, bye.